Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video isn't going to be kind of a standard video that I would upload, which I normally try to upload something to do with fitness, giving you guys, if you guys can hear that noise, it's my palm tree in the wind. You know, try to give inspirational or motivational advice and kind of share what I get up to day. This video is not going to be like that. This video is, I suppose, a real chat, a bit of a life update as to how I've been feeling lately and what's some of the things that have been going on in my life that has been causing me to feel how I feel right now. If you do follow me on Instagram stories or Snapchat, I've been quite open about it. I'm not one to just post my highlights. I like to talk about all the ups and downs that I go through in hope to help someone else that might be going through something similar, or just help someone not feel alone, because let's face it, life is a crazy roller coaster and we are always going through ups and downs. We get thrown challenges that we never thought we would have to deal with, or we don't know how to deal with. And it can be hard to process, and it can be scary to process, and it can be a very lonely, scary time to be okay with feeling everything that you're feeling. I think growing up, a lot of us are told to shush, wipe your tears, be tough. You shouldn't be crying about that. You know, there's worse off problems than yours, and it makes you feel not validated, not understood, not worthy of being upset, but it's just not the case. I feel it's very important, and it's something I take a lot of pride in teaching Taj, is to feel everything you're feeling. But that means getting uncomfortable, and most of us don't want to feel uncomfortable, so we suppress. We don't actually feel what's coming up, and then one day it explodes, and it can explode in many different ways. But I've been feeling all the feels. So the last, I suppose, month, 2 months have been really difficult. There's just been a certain couple of things that have happened that have rocked me, and I suppose I didn't really know how to process or take in. And first of all, about a month ago, I heard the devastating news that a beautiful man that I actually dated before I dated Steve, so it was over 10 years ago, ended his life. And it's taken me a couple of days to film this because I didn't want to cry. It's just absolutely devastating when anyone ends their life, to know that they were in that much pain. It just breaks my heart. You know, we all go through really tough times, and there's times where we all want to give up. I know myself, I've been in deep dark holes where I just have wanted to give up, where I feel like it's never going to change, or I feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. And you can have those thoughts where you just like, I just want it to end, or I don't know what to do. And it just breaks my heart that this beautiful man, you know, he was such a special, kind, generous, just nice person. You know, there's people that are just good humans. He was just a beautiful human, and he's got a beautiful wife, 3 beautiful children, a family that adored him. And, you know, he's gone, and there's just no words to describe how devastating it is. And it really rocked me. It really rocked me. I think obviously just knowing that he's gone is just a lot to process, and I feel like suicide is happening so much more these days. It's so common. I hear about so many every single week, even if that's just in private DMs on my Instagram. It's so common. Even one of my good girlfriends who I've known since I was 18, she had the closest knit family and such a strong bond with her brother, and her brother committed suicide about 6 months ago as well. And it's just devastating. It really is. And I think I really feel for obviously the wife and the children, you know, her being here without the love of her life and the father of her children, and having to go through life without him. It's just, when you put yourself in someone else's shoes, I'm quite an empathist. What is it? An empathist? I don't even know that word. An empathist. I really feel other people's feelings, and just to been speaking to her a little bit, just the pain that she's feeling, you can't even imagine. So that shook me up a little bit. And then my beautiful friend Nick got diagnosed with cancer. We found out on the Friday night. On the Sunday morning, he went into surgery. It was testicular cancer. They removed the cancer, and he actually processed that really well. He was like, that's okay, it's gone, we got this, you know, lucky that we caught it when we did. And then the specialist came in and said that they had done scans and the cancer had actually spread to his lymph nodes around his abdominal area. The type of cancer that Nick has is extremely aggressive. He said it's 4 or 5 different types of cancers in one, and it can spread extremely fast. So they're so lucky they caught it when they did. If they didn't catch it when they did, give it another couple of weeks, it could have spread throughout his whole body and killed him. So we're so grateful that they caught it when they did, but he's currently going through chemotherapy. And obviously anyone that you love and that you care for that is going through a rough time with their health, it's really scary and it's a lot to process, and it's just hard to process. Nick's actually coping, I think, better than any of us. He's such a champ and he's so strong. This is the 3rd time that I've tried to film this, and I really thought if I gave it a couple more days I would be okay not to cry. And it's really hot in here and I'm sweating. Nick's actually coping a lot better than any of us are, and he's actually going really, really well. And you know, the odds are really good. It's up to 75% of chemotherapy with this type of cancer are likely to destroy it. But there is a chance that doesn't, and then he might have to go into major surgery, and it's just quite a scary surgery because of where the cancer is. For starters, it's 6 centimeters on his lymph node and it's near arteries. So, you know, the surgeons have said it's very hard for them to go in and not, I suppose, this is not a medical term, but snip or touch or cut an artery. That'd obviously be really dangerous. And even if that works or it doesn't work, he would then have to go to radiotherapy, which obviously is the next level. And all of that, there's just so much sickness and downtime, and it's a lot for not only physically for him to go through, but mentally and emotionally as well. Nick's a very passionate person. He's a very alive person. He's a very active person. He's out there doing stuff. He cares, and he loves his work. Even being a personal trainer, obviously he can't be in a gym working while he's going through chemotherapy because gyms are, you know, a very germy place. So he's obviously had to give up work, and you know, at the moment he's sleeping most of the day or spending a lot of his days in a dark room because even a TV gives him headaches and strains his eyes. Reading is too much concentration. He can't go for too long a walks, otherwise he gets extremely exhausted. I caught up with him the other day and he even said one day that he was feeling a little bit okay, because the way his chemo works, he'll go in for 5 days in a row for about 6 hours a day, and then the following week it's just the Monday for I think 6 or 8 hours a day, and that one makes him really sick. But there was one day that he was actually feeling pretty good, and he went for a walk and he thought, I'll just do a couple of bodyweight exercises, and he did some push-ups and a couple of squats, and he got so dizzy. His heart rate on his watch went through the roof. He started feeling faint, and he just went home and absolutely zonked down and just slept. His body is just so tired going through this chemotherapy. But overall, like when I saw him, I felt like me and Steph were struggling a lot more than him. We both cried, and he was just like, I think he found it harder to see us cry. But yeah, it's just scary, and I really do believe that he will come out of this so strong. He will fight through this, and he's just an amazing, strong person. I believe, you know, once he comes out of it, even going through what he's gone through now, what's important to him and his life has totally switched. Like, he is just a new person in his mindset and the way he views everything and what's important to him. And I just find that so inspiring, and I'm so proud of him. Like, I really, really am so proud of him. When he was talking, I was just like in awe of the man that he's become. I've known him for 8 years, and I suppose when I first met Nick, he was, you know, in his young 20s, and boys are quite immature at that age. He knows he was. And I feel like he's really grown up a lot the last couple of years, and we've just bonded a lot closer. But even just hearing him talk the other day, I really was just so proud of him. But yeah, it's just the process of, I suppose, watching someone with cancer go through this, and just, I don't know, it's always on your mind. And then lastly but not least is my damn husband. God love that man so much, but I suppose the last, might be 4, 5, 6 months, I haven't really been keeping track, but if you, once again, if you follow me on social media, you would have heard me do updates about his sleep. He has not been sleeping. We don't know what's going on. We've gone to the doctors, he's gone to a sleep clinic, he's stayed overnight there, they've put all these cords on him trying to find out why he's not sleeping. He'll go to sleep super early because he's so tired, and then he'll wake up at 11 or 12, 1 o'clock and cannot get back to sleep. The last time we went to the doctors, they gave him sleeping tablets. He was taking these sleeping tablets, waking up so groggy, and then taking them each night that his body was becoming very reliant on them. And then it would need caffeine to like keep himself awake, but the sleeping tablets even stopped working, and he was napping during the day. And while he was obviously so exhausted, like I'm terrible on one bad night's sleep, and this has been going on for months, he hasn't had a solid night's sleep. While he's doing all that, he's still running multiple companies. You know, he's the boss of a lot of them, taking on a lot of stress, still wearing the hat of a husband, of a dad, of the businesses, and just really not, I suppose, his body not coping with the lack of sleep. But we honestly just didn't know what was causing it. We're just trying a lot of different natural things and things that people have suggested to me, and nothing was really working. But anyways, long story cut short, he went on a trip to Egypt. I didn't want to go to Egypt. I just never have wanted to go there. And I don't know, I don't feel safe going there. And Steve also said the same thing. He's like, I'd honestly rather you stay here. I just don't feel like it is the safest place for you. But I said, you go. I want you to go, tick it off your bucket list. So he went over there, but he had to stop in Dubai. And when he was in Dubai, he had a big stopover, and he was going on pretty much 3 days with no sleep. The travel over there, his sleep patterns, the time difference, he was not sleeping, and he had 2 seizures. So he went to Dubai hospital, they did some scans. He was worried it was bleeding on the brain. It wasn't, thank God. They still want him to get an MRI, which he will get when he's back here because he couldn't get in for one there. But another long story cut short, Steve had a brain aneurysm when he was younger, which was removed. He had it from age 12, and no surgeon would operate on him until I think he was like 18 or 19, because there was just a big risk that they would kill him in surgery because of the size of it. It was the size of a golf ball, and where it was like pressing on his brain, it was just extremely dangerous. One surgeon decided he would operate on Steve, and he said there is a high risk that you'll lose your sight or death. But obviously I wasn't there, it was a long time ago, but I'm guessing he said, I'm confident that I can remove this, and he did. And now Steve, he's blind in his left eye from like, he can't see like out there. He can see straight on a little bit over here, but can't see over there. Along with a brain aneurysm, he was diagnosed with epilepsy, and he used to have a lot of seizures and fits, and a lot of blackouts when he was younger. So his sight would just go for about 20 minutes. And obviously growing up, he couldn't play any contact sports or any sports that were dangerous or could involve head knocks. And, you know, I've been with Steve for 10 years, and he's had a couple of little blackouts here and there, but no seizures. And so to hear that he had 2 seizures in Dubai rocked both of us. I've just been so shit scared not being there with him. And if it was like Singapore, or if my mum wasn't going to New Zealand, I would have hopped on a plane to go over and meet him and be with him. But I'm here with Taj by myself, and obviously I need to look after him. I'm not going to put him on a plane for 24 hours to go and meet Steve where he is. But it's just been really scary, and the whole time he's been overseas now, he's had 5 seizures. So just stress, lack of sleep, and his body obviously not coping. So Levi has put him on a lot of different herbal pills, which hopefully, because we think it might be just like in a total adrenal burnout, and epilepsy fits, seizures are brought on by lack of sleep and stress. Definitely 2 things that can spark them. So obviously once that gets under control, hopefully he won't get them again, because he hasn't had them for 10 years. But now it's just the mission of finding out as to why he's not sleeping. I've got a list of things I just want to check off, and I feel like it's going to be my personal mission to find out what's wrong, because all the doctors we've been to say nothing's wrong. Here's a sleeping tablet. Or the sleep clinic we went to, they said nothing's wrong, he's fine. So it's really frustrating, it's really scary, and I just feel really overwhelmed, drained, emotionally exhausted. And you know, to be honest, it's been quite hard on Steve and I's like relationship, because he's so tired all the time. You know, he doesn't have that normal bounce and energy about him. I feel like he's constantly in a low state, and I feel for him. I'm trying to support him. But I remember Tony Robbins once explaining that, like, in a relationship, if you're both in a high state and like energetic and passionate and doing your purpose and know each other's love languages and thinking of each other's 6 human needs and all that kind of stuff that I've learned to help a relationship be super connected and passionate and thriving and growing. If one's low, normally the person in the highest state will like lower theirs to kind of meet this person and try and pick them back up again. But because he's been low for so long and I'm like constantly trying to pull him up, I feel like my energy and my state's been quite low, and that can just cause obviously lack of passion, lack of connection. We haven't just been doing our normal things that light us up and our date nights which really connect us, because he's just hasn't been well. So it's being just real. It has been hard on our relationship, and obviously my focus is just to be the best wife I can be and support him the best way I can be, as well as still keeping up the energy to keep our businesses, you know, afloat and running smoothly and be a good mum. It's really hard because I let Taj see me cry, and you know, he's like, "Are you okay, mummy?" And I try and teach him that it's okay to be sad sometimes, and everyone gets frustrated, and I talk him a lot about feelings, but I also don't want to be moping around sad all the time. But it's just been a hard couple of weeks, so I'm just trying to still make sure I'm training and having hot baths and doing just finding little pockets of time to make sure I fill my own cup up so that I can give Taj the best of me, not just the rest of me. And I want to be that for Steve, for Taj, for my friends, for everyone. But it's taking me at the moment a lot of things that I'm, I suppose, just learning to say no to, that I don't have the energy to do, and just doing what's absolutely necessary and trying to rest and support in between. But yeah, what you see on social media and pretty photos on people's pages is beautiful, but just the reason why I'm sharing this video is a couple of reasons. Is to remind you that not everything is just happy and me being motivated all the time, living this happy, healthy, fit lifestyle. I get thrown curveballs and challenges just like you do. They might be different, but there's gotta be hard times in life that we have to step up and we have to face and we have to go through, and we have to get uncomfortable, and we have to learn from and grow from and support everyone around us. That's just life. The second reason is to bring awareness to making sure that you are getting regular health checkups and regular physical checks. Men, if you are watching, or women with partners, brothers or fathers or son, get your testicles checked often. Nick was saying the other day, he's telling all of his guy friends every 6 months, get them checked. It's the same with women with your breasts. Constantly just be feeling if anything doesn't feel right, if you don't feel right, if you feel fatigued, feel sick, if you feel like something within your body. Nick felt this for 6 months, that something wasn't right, and he went to a doctor a couple of times and they kept saying, "You're fine, you're fine, you're fine, your bloods have come back normal." And he just wishes he persisted more with pushing to have more tests done to find out what wasn't right, because it wasn't until he got really swollen down there and he just said, "This is not right." And the doctor was like, "Oh yeah, I can see that's not right." Make sure you're getting your pap smears, make sure you're getting regular checks, reach out to professionals, and don't just give up after one doesn't give you an answer. That's what where Steve and I are at. We've got to find the right doctors and find the right specialists that can run the right tests. And last but not least, just talking about suicide and suicide prevention. I just want every single person that is watching this video right now to know that you are never alone. There is always someone out there that will help you, that will be there for you, that will listen to you, that will hold your hand, that will tell you that everything's gonna be okay, that you can get through anything, and you are so much stronger than what you think. And there are so many people that care about you, that if something was to happen to you, they would break into a million pieces and they would never be the same. If you are feeling lonely, depressed, or feeling like there is no other option and like you're giving up, please reach out. I'm gonna put some hotlines on the screen right now that you can contact right now and talk to someone. That's the first step in healing and getting past that point of thinking that there's no other option, because there is options. And there's so many people that love and care for you so much. So please reach out to one of these hotlines, or reach out to a friend, or reach out to a family member, a psychologist, a counselor, a coach, a mentor, someone. There's always someone that will be there for you. And I think we need to have these conversations more, and we need to bring more awareness, provide more support and more resources, and have these open conversations and remind everyone around us that they are loved and they are valued and they are needed here. So right now, after this video, once I wrap this up, which I will wrap it up now, reach out to those ones around you and tell them how much you love them. Tell someone that you appreciate them. Help that old lady across the road that looks like she's lonely and needs help with her groceries. Always think about each day how you can make someone's day brighter, how you can bring more kindness to the world, how you can make this world a better place. There is so much hate and so much negativity and so much sadness around, on and offline. We need to be the change. We need to spread more kindness, and it all starts with ourselves. So what can you do today? Who can you help today? What difference can you make right now? Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that this does reach a lot of people. I'm not doing this video for any sympathy or anything like that. I really just wanted to bring awareness. I wanted to have an open conversation. I wanted to give a life update. And last but not least, if you can, I have set up a GoFundMe account for Nick. Nick and his beautiful partner Steph have already had to move out of their apartment to live back with their parents just to save money, because it's so expensive, not only medical bills, but for Nick to not be able to work for at least 3 months, maybe 6, maybe 9, maybe 12, maybe longer, depending on what's going to happen with his cancer. And the last thing anyone needs to be worrying about, and I know so many people are struggling with this, so if you have the opportunity to share a GoFundMe account or donate money, please do, not only to Nick, but to anyone that you can, just to take that financial burden away, just so they can focus on supporting each other and being there for each other and getting through each day the best that they can. So I'm going to put the link up on the screen, but also I'm going to put all of the lifelines, Nick's GoFundMe account, everything in my description box below, so please go and check it out. If you can dig deep and just donate $5 to Nick, that would be absolutely incredible. And make sure you do take the time today to reach out to someone that you care about. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.